Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling lake, lived a young woman named Alara. She was known for a radiant smile and her heart as pure as the mountain spring. But one day, a dark cloud of accusation hung over her, shattering the tranquility of the village like a dropped goblet of water. It all began when the village elder, a pillar of wisdom and authority, vanished without a trace. Panic swept through the village as the days turned into weeks, with no sign of the elder's return. Whispers turned to accusations and suspicion fell upon Alara, because she was the last person who had been seen with him. The villagers assembled in the town square, their faces etched with worry and accusation. The village leader, a stern man whose gaze could pierce through stone, addressed the hushed crowd. "We need answers," he boomed, his voice echoing the sentiment of the anxious villagers. Alara stepped forward. His eyes, usually warm and inviting, were now cold and sharp as ice. Alara, trembling but resolute, stepped into the center of the square. Her heart pounded against her ribs like a captive bird. "Where is the elder?" demanded the leader, his voice leaving no room for argument. "I don't know," whispered Alara, her voice shaking. "The last time I saw him, he was by the Whispering Falls. But when I returned from gathering herbs, he was gone." A murmur rippled through the crowd. Whispering Falls was an ancient site, revered and feared in equal measure. Legend spoke of mystical beings that dwelt there, making it a place to be avoided. The village shaman, a wizened old woman with eyes that seemed to hold the secrets of ages, raised her gnarled hand. "Enough," she commanded, silencing the murmurs. "The fate of our village hangs in the balance. We need to act swiftly and wisely." Her gaze, sharp and piercing, swept over the assembled villagers. A young man, his face contorted with anger, pointed an accusing finger at Alara. "She has brought this upon us. Let us banish her from our village. She must pay for her crimes." And so, driven by fear and anger, the villagers banished her, each averted gaze and harsh word, a fresh wound on her soul. With a heart heavy with sorrow and a spirit bruised by betrayal, Alara left the only home she had ever known. As she walked, the weight of the accusations pressed down on her like a physical burden. Was she truly responsible for the elder's disappearance? Or was she a victim of circumstance, caught in the crossfire of a tale that was not her own? The truth lay hidden, veiled in mystery and half-truths, waiting to be unraveled. Days turned into weeks, and Alara found solace in the embrace of the whispering woods. The trees, ancient and wise, stood as silent witnesses to her tale, their rustling leaves consoling her with secrets of the wind. Yet the shadow of doubt lingered, a specter that haunted her waking moments and seeped into her dreams. One evening, as twilight painted the sky in hues of amber and violet, Alara stumbled upon a clearing, and there in the center, bathed in the soft glow of the setting sun, was a magnificent oak. Its branches, gnarled and strong, reached towards the heavens as if in prayer, and its roots, thick and deep, seemed to hold the secrets of the earth. This was no ordinary tree. It was the heartwood oak, a sacred symbol of the village's faith and history. And beneath its sheltering branches sat an old woman. Her eyes, deep and knowing, twinkled with an otherworldly wisdom. As Alara approached, the woman gestured for her to sit, her gaze unwavering yet kind. "Who are you?" Alara asked, her voice barely a whisper. "I am one who walks between worlds," the woman replied, her voice like the rustling of ancient leaves. "I have been watching you. Alara, your spirit is troubled. What burdens your heart?" With a shaky breath, Alara poured out her tale, the accusations, the banishment, the gnawing uncertainty. As she spoke, the burden in her chest seemed to lighten, replaced by a sliver of hope. Maybe here, under the watchful gaze of the heartwood oak, she would find the answers she so desperately sought. The old woman listened patiently, her gaze never wavering. When Alara fell silent, the woman finally spoke. Her words were soft, yet carried the weight of ages. "Not all is as it seems, child. The truth often hides beneath the surface, waiting to be uncovered." Her eyes, pools of ancient wisdom, seemed to pierce through Alara's doubts. "You have been accused of a crime you did not commit. But why? And who truly orchestrated this deceit?" Hope flickered in Alara's eyes. Could there be more to the story than the villagers believed? The thought both terrified and exhilarated her. "I feel the presence of an ancient spirit here," the old woman continued, her gaze fixed on some distant point beyond the trees. "A spirit of deception, twisting the truth and feeding the flames of suspicion." As the night deepened, the old woman shared tales of the village's past, stories of ancient curses and malevolent spirits that preyed on the fears and suspicions of mortals. Alara listened, her heart pounding, wondering if these ancient legends held the key to her present ordeal. With the first rays of dawn, the old woman instructed Alara to return to the village and confront the one who had denounced her, the young man driven by vengeance. Armed with newfound determination and insights, Alara faced the young man, demanding an explanation for his actions. The young man, taken aback by Alara's sudden return and fiery spirit, hesitated, his bravado crumbling in the face of her unwavering resolve. As he stammered for an answer, the truth unraveled, revealing a tale of manipulation and deceit. It turned out that the young man's sister had been a close friend of the village elder, and when he went missing, she had confided in her brother. Suspecting foul play, filled with righteous anger, he had vowed to uncover the truth, unaware that the real culprit was lurking in the shadows, manipulating events to cast suspicion on Alara. The truth unveiled. Alara found herself at the center of a maelstrom of emotions, betrayal, anger, and a deep sense of injustice. But amidst the turmoil, a spark of determination ignited within her. Guided by the cryptic advice of the enigmatic old woman, Alara embarked on a perilous journey to the Whispering Falls, determined to uncover the truth behind the elder's disappearance. Accompanied by a loyal hunting companion, she ventured into the unknown, facing treacherous paths and dangerous creatures, her spirit unbroken. At the falls, she encountered a mystical water spirit, a being of immense power and wisdom. Through clever wit and unwavering courage, Alara managed to appease the spirit, gaining its trust and uncovering the truth behind the village's misfortunes. The village elder, it turned out, had not been kidnapped but had willingly entered into a pact with the water spirit to safeguard the village from a greater danger, a hidden threat lurking beneath the placid waters of the lake. The young man, manipulated by the very force that had befallen the village, had unwittingly set in motion a chain of events that jeopardized the very existence of their community. Armed with this newfound knowledge, Alara raced back to the village, the fate of her people hanging in the balance. Confronting the misguided young man, she revealed the truth, exposing the mastermind behind their tribulations. In the face of overwhelming evidence, the villagers were filled with remorse, realizing the grave error they had committed. The unity and strength of their community had been their pride, but it had also been their downfall, blinding them to the truth and leading them to the edge of destruction. But as they grappled with the weight of their actions, a sense of unity began to emerge. For in their collective regret, they found a common ground, a shared purpose to rectify the wrongs they had inflicted. The story doesn't end with a neat bow. Life, after all, rarely does. But it ends with a strong moral, a lesson learned in the fires of adversity. In the face of fear and uncertainty, unity and courage are the most potent weapons. And even in the darkest depths of despair, the flicker of hope and the pursuit of truth can illuminate the path to redemption.